Southern University, another HBCU, sitting in Congressional District number 18. This district has elected powerful black leaders for decades, leaders who defend HBCUs and advocate for civil rights. Now that district is under attack. And who pays the price? The TSU students, their families, and the entire community they support. At HSIs, like the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, redistricting cuts across Latino neighborhoods and student populations, weakening the ability of Latino students to elect leaders who reflect their language, culture, and values. Students who live just blocks away from campus may be in a separate district, making it harder to organize, harder to vote, and harder to win. Even at PWIs like UT Austin, redistricting has sliced up the student population so much that dorms are in one district while classrooms are in another. Diverse neighborhoods near campus, especially those with Black, Asian, and Latino students, are being divided to prevent us from building collective power. UT students have protested this. We've spoken up, and still they keep drawing futures. Here's an unknown truth. Texas has gained new congressional seats because of us, because of the growth in Black, Latino, and Asian communities. But none of those new seats went to the communities of color. None. That's erasure, that's voter suppression disguised as legal process. So don't tell us that this is just politics. Don't tell us it's just about a party ruling another party. Because when you draw maps to divide Black, brown, and young voters, you're not just gerrymandering districts, you're gerrymandering democracy. We are the future of this state. We are the reason Texas is growing diverse and vibrant, and we refuse to be redistricted on our own power. Thank you.
Hello and good afternoon. Hello and good morning to you all. My name is Devin Prophet. I am a collegiate student at Texas State University. I'm also a proud member of the Unit 6875-B chapter of the NAACP at Texas State University, and of course, a proud member of my fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Fellow Texans, I stand before you today concerned because the issue in regards to redistricting isn't a party issue, but a race one. As someone who refuses to stay silent, and I stand here before you today as someone who refuses to stay silent while the future of Black and brown youth is being erased. Since 1980, the growth in Texas congressional seats have come almost entirely from communities of color, communities that make up the very people in this room. Yet today, white voters control nearly Let's call this what this is. Racial injustice at its finest. Redistricting is not about drawing lines on a map. It's about drawing the boundaries of power. And right now, those boundaries are cutting us out. These maps threaten districts like the 9th, the 18th, and the 30th districts, places where African Americans have long held the power to elect candidates who look like them, who understand them, who fight for them. Now that power is under attack. The government tells us, young and Black, brown Texans, that the next city council member, the next organizer, the next legislator, that their voices do not matter. That the fellow youth who try to run for these future seats to help represent the generation not let that happen. And we are here to say, we see you. And more importantly, we see each other. This is not about politics. This is about legacy, justice, the sacrifices that our ancestors have made so that way we could be here in these halls today to serve, to fight, and to protect. Protect our seats, protect our stories, and protect the future of the youth who deserve a chance to lead in this great state. Thank you.
Hello. Hello, good morning. My name is Abby Myers. I serve as the current student body president at Texas State University, and I'm a proud supporter of the NAACP chapter on our campus. I think that it's invaluable for us to be here today because this represents such a larger issue than redistricting in Texas. It represents the fact that Texas is such a diverse state, and yet you would never be able to tell by looking at our legislature. That's not acceptable. You wouldn't be able to tell based on who's allowed to vote and who's allowed to vote people in. And that's unacceptable. We already have one of the lowest voter turnout rates in the nation, and we're further silencing the communities that do go out and go to the polls. So what does that tell our young voters, the students on my campus, about whether their voice matters or not? Because now even if they go to the polls, they're not going to be heard because the legislature is actively trying to silence them because they come from minority communities. That's absolutely unacceptable. And what it does is it creates this atmosphere of normalized racism, which then permeates hatred on our campuses. So then we have people show up with homophobic and racist signage, and we have to just walk past that. That's not acceptable, because what the higher administration is doing is permeating hatred on our campuses and permeating hatred in our states, and by the legislature not standing up to that and saying, no, we're not going to redraw the lines, we're not going to further suppress minority voices, you allow that to continue. You are then a supporter of it, and not just a silent supporter of it, not just complicit in the racism, but an active person engaging in supporting and permeating that. And so I think it is invaluable for students to be speaking out because yes, you're a student leader on your campus and we have issues on our own campuses that we need to address, but ultimately and historically, every single movement has started at the student level that has been successful. It is the grassroots movement that say, we're gonna identify an issue on our campus, in our state, in our community, and then we're gonna go and we're gonna expand and we're gonna pull other people in. Because the voice of students, whether the legislature wants to acknowledge it or not, matters. Whether you come from a brown community, a black community, we have to fight for one another and we have to stand up. And I also call on every student leader that does come from a place of privilege, you should be leveraging that because they should not be fighting this fight on their own. It is our obligation that we've witnessed historical injustice for decades, for generations, and it is our opportunity now to say, I am in a place of privilege. I get to speak on this issue, and I get to say, it's not fair that my vote matters because I live in this community. It's not fair to say that white people take up more of the space than black and brown people who make up more of our state. Because the 40% of white people should not be making the decisions for the majority of the people in our state. Fundamentally, it's incorrect and it's wrong. And if we can't address that right now and at this level, it's going to continue to get worse. Because students are already being afflicted by the decisions that are being made by the legislature, including the issues with the DEI bans and continued expressive activity bans that threaten our free speech. So if we don't stop it now, it's going to continue to get worse when we're already allowing racism to permeate our campuses. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sean Michael Harris, and I am the first vice president at Texas State University for my NAACP chapter, Unit 6875-B. Before I start, I want to take a moment for us to see who we are. In this room is filled with black, Hispanic, white, women, men, young and older, and that's democracy. What we have right now in the White House in Washington, D.C., our capital, is not democracy. It's triarchy. And so I call action to youth and to colleges. I stand and I say, fellow student leaders, fellow organization leaders, people who want to be leaders, people who look up to leaders, we must stand together. We must fight for our safety, for our right to vote in our correct district. We cannot let the conservative white voters take away our right and our voice, because that is the agenda. And let it be known that is the agenda. I sit here in the Capitol to call out Governor Abbott. You're a governor. You're not just a regular person. People count on your decisions. We count on your decisions, like it or not. And you need to stand with your Texans, regardless of what Trump is saying. I call out the president. What you're doing is not right. And taking away the voices of black and brown youth and black and brown communities with the Texas redistricting is not okay. Better yet, I urge us all to stand and to oppose and to act in change. We must focus on our generation and the voters that we have, our classmates, our friends, our partners, and our peers. We are the youth. We are the vote. We must vote. In the current elections going in Texas, we must vote to stop. We must sit in these sessions, and we must listen and have our testimonies and speak, because that is our First Amendment right. Our voices matter, and no one can take away that. And so today, I stand united with all of the people behind me to say we will not back down, and we will not cower away, and we will not be afraid of anything. We will stand, we will keep going, with punches, with kicks, we will stay standing tall. I thank you for my time.
My name is Catalina Moultrie. I'm 9 years old. I may not be able to vote now, but when I do, my vote will be heard. But for now, I will use my voice to be heard. This special session on the redraw of the boundaries of certain districts is just unnecessary. The elected officers need to focus on what is important, and that is the people. Why now? My mom always said what is done in the dark will come out in the light. So Governor asked leave the maps alone. Make the special session about the people and not the politics, so we can all go home. Thank you.
I want to thank everyone for being here, and you hear the illustrious voices from our young people from around the state. What is occurring here is absolutely wrong. My name is Gary Bledsoe. I'm president of the Texas State Conference of NAACP branches. I think pretty much everything that needs to be said has been said. I want to add maybe two things to what have been said. Years ago, before the passage of the 15th Amendment, we were considered only to be property. We had no rights, we had no opportunity to vote in Texas. Indeed, there was a 3/5 clause in the Constitution of the United States. And it said that all others shall be counted for 3/5 in order to establish the name and establish the numbers of persons that each state is entitled to for representation in Congress. So what that did is that allowed persons who were enslaved to be counted, but they had no vote. They had no representation. And what they're attempting to do in this bill is move us back to that day, to where the 3/5 compromise in the United States Constitution is the law again today. Under the current proposal from President Trump's Department of Justice, you would eliminate all but one African American congressional seats. That's clearly an effort to reinstitute the 3/5 compromise. Number two, one thing that we need to make clear is this is about fighting a straw man. The map that President Trump is opposed to was drawn up by conservative Republican legislators in Washington, D.C., in cooperation with members of the state Senate in Texas of their same political party, and approved by the Attorney General of Texas before they were voted upon. Those things have been proven as a matter of fact under sworn testimony in a recently completed 4-week trial in federal court in El Paso. So Ken Paxton approved this map. And the threat in the letter that they sent was that Donald Trump is going to sue Greg Abbott. Do we really think so? I think it's clear this is about their map, and it's a straw man. There is no way that that group drew up any districts to benefit the African American or Latino communities. In fact, we fought them every step of the way, and that map is discriminatory against black and brown citizens. So there is no way that it prefers black and brown citizens. So let's understand, this is a straw man. They're fighting their own map. This is their map. Thank you. Have any questions for any of the people that are here today? We have great young folks and really proud of them, and this is, and what they've indicated is this is widely shared around the state. And indeed, when you have these acts telling people that black people don't matter, or that brown people don't matter, that's why hate is actually rising in all of their campuses. You should see the things that are occurring on Texas State's campus, or some of the things that are on the social media chatter, and it's occurring all around the state where these incidents are greater and greater. In K through 12, I think we saw all the testimony, and Ms. Moultrie can tell you the nights of things that have occurred all around the state, whether it's Lubbock, whether it's Slayton, whether it's Grand Prairie, whether it's South Lake. The hostility towards African American children in K through 12 has really been unreal and hard to fathom, but it really grows out of initiatives like this.
Yes, sir, Mr. Bledsoe, Doug Montgomery. What do you make of what do you think is going to happen in these upcoming hearings, which will begin today, and what's the message y'all hope to convey?
Well, the first thing about the hearings today is the hearings are a fiction. Okay, they already have maps. Okay, and so since they already have maps, why not put those maps out there like they did in previous years to let the public comment on those maps? So this is a matter of secrecy. These things are about simply going through an exercise to say that they did this. But all we can do today is say that we oppose the process. They're concealing, they're hiding, they're not disclosing the maps. And so I think that's the number one point to take from these hearings, is that they're not done in the light of day with the amount of information that the public needs in order to actively participate in our democracy.
What kind of impact is the trial out in El Paso having? I think they haven't made a decision yet.
Well, one of the two of the groups filed motions to reopen the evidence. The court denied it without prejudice, but the court said it would be monitoring the proceedings. What is clear to us is two things. You have the letter from the Department of Justice saying that this was a race-based drawing. And then you have sworn testimony from the chair of the Senate Redistricting Committee and other Republicans that said the map was drawn blind to race. Okay, so both those things can't be true, you know. So either the DOJ letter is true and it's race-based, and somehow Ken Paxton had this love for black folk and went out there and proved a map that supported black folk and brown folk, or it was drawn race blind. You have to choose between one of those two options based on what they're saying. They're completely contradictory. So there is a lie somewhere.
No, I missed what you just said. There is a what, a lie?
There is a lie somewhere.
Oh, a lie.
It can't be true. Like if Ms. Moultrie and I said that, you know, I entered the building from, I said I entered the building from the south side. She said I entered it from the north side. Well, I only could enter from one side, right? So one of us has got to be lying. So one person said it was a race-based map, and the other one said it was a race-blind map. Race-based, race-blind, they both can't exist. So, any questions about what, I think that was a really compelling testimony in reference to what's happening on our college campuses and the responses that they're getting and the difficulties they were experiencing in voting. And we see the fights against colleges all around the country, and Texas is well beyond what's occurred in the other states. You know, we've had a full-fledged hostile takeover of our colleges and universities by extremists. And so now the rights of faculty are limited. Students are being told what they can and cannot do. More so, they're being wrongfully judged for engaging in peaceful protests. So it's a whole new arena that we live in, and the curriculum is now part of the discussion. You have these individuals who have no training that are being empowered on college campuses, and their only idea is to become police for the right wing and to report any professor, any staff member that's doing something that's inconsistent. So we're indeed in very much a time when free expression is under attack, when free expression is being denied, and where we're losing many great students, many great faculty, many great staff to other states, because people that are they're well qualified and talented are choosing to go elsewhere. And we know many, many examples of that. And so this is a continuation of that, where we're simply saying, well, why did the president choose Texas? Well, the president chose Texas for a reason. Yes. Okay. Well, if no more questions, we thank everybody for being here and look forward to working with everyone. But again, this is about a reinstitution of the 3/5 compromise. Mm-hmm. This is what this is. Thank you guys.